Hey everybody, this is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the stock market didn't do well today. As anticipated by Dr. J on Tuesday, we came on for a 10-minute show just to kind of warn people that I thought the market would be weak the rest of the week. Weak the rest of the week, that would be through Friday. So why do I think that? Why did I think that? Well, simply because a confluence of factors, a bunch of key indices and key stocks all trading basically at resistance, and the 10-year trading at resistance. It was just more than likely a setup to go down a little bit. I don't think a lot. Of course, you never know with the CPI report coming out next week and what the Fed's reaction to that is going to be. But for now, I think the rally is the sell-off is self-limiting, and it probably will be up down tomorrow and up on Monday. So I'm going to stick with my 3 days of weakness, followed by rally into the CPI report, which comes out I think Tuesday, right? And depending on that, the market will of course react to that. I personally don't think it'll be very horrible. I know the jobs number's good, but so what? It's healthy to have a good job market. All right, so let's get right to it. We'll look at the charts. Sava. That doesn't mean I mean, it does mean how's it going, but how's it going with Sava, Cassava Sciences? Data came out, and I'm gonna show what Tim Kirk says about that. Tim, you're going to use your comment. Hi everyone. Although n equal 40, that's the number in the trial. Sinew film treatment for 6 months slowed cognitive decline greater than 200% compared to placebo in mild, I guess, Alzheimer's. This small RCT trial provides more evidence of efficacy for mild AD. I agree. I think the results were excellent, and it went down 3 points from 25 to 22 yesterday, based on that wonderful data. It shows you that biotech is dreck, but it doesn't mean it'll stay down. Today it bounced back because the truth shall overcome. And Sava is much aligned company, deserves to get the truth out there about its simufilm. Might be a really good drug for AD, a lot better than the Biogen Eastside drug that receiving all that publicity, and it certainly has a better safety profile. Anyway, let's start by looking at. We could start by looking at Cassava. Cassava, whatever. Look at that ugly candle on Wednesday, yesterday. That's some ugly red candle. Ooh, gigantic. And unwarranted. Today's bounce back, much warranted. Much deserved bounce back. Probably a good time to enter. I may have been looking for a time to get back in. This may be the time for Dr. J to get back in. Of course, my opinion is strictly my own, not investment advice. Do your own due diligence, check with an advisor before acting. Hit that subscribe button, slam the like, hit the bell, tell your friends about us because we sometimes give you some good information. So occasionally some really good information. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I actually called the exact minute of the bottom of the 2020 pandemic lows in March 2020. You can go back to that date and check out the show. You'll see. I bought on the show. I stopped to buy the the 3 times Qs or 3 times spiders. I don't remember. One of them. Okay. What have we here? Sava. Again, good entry point. I think I'd rather be long. I know I'd rather be long than short. So this might be a good time for me to get back in. It looks like we have a lot of support just under where we traded at about 2140, a lot of support. So, you don't have too much to lose if you're looking for an entry point for Sava. I have also up Apple. A lot of people asking about Apple, and it is in a Zoom channel, and it had a solid performance today after a weak performance yesterday. Where do I think it's going? Again, I'm going to repeat myself. I think there's a reasonable chance for a pullback, but it sure isn't looking like it would be a big one. So if we get a pullback, it's probably going to be something like 185 on this one. Maybe 183. Let's say right here, 182.67. It's a reasonable chance because we've had a phenomenal run and we had a but a bearish candle on Monday after a phenomenal Friday close. So this is a setup that I'm thinking might cause Apple to give back a little. We had a doji yesterday, a nice candle today, but tomorrow is another day, and I think we could get weakness in Apple tomorrow. If we don't get a weakness in Apple tomorrow, the market will be strong as well. Apple is by far the bellwether for this market. It's in every major index and a good chunk of the Qs and so on. All right, let's take a look at Tesla, the other retail buys Apple and retail buys Tesla. So let's take a look at the other retail trade. Tesla down today after a phenomenal run. So just like Apple, it's reasonable to expect some kind of pullback. Probably fill this gap at about 261.77. I mean, this has been all over the map, as low as 100 not too long ago. So we've had a phenomenal move in it. I could see a pullback very easily to right about here, 261. Of course, if anything can defy gravity, Tesla's one of the stocks that can defy gravity. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't pull back, but we're overdue. EV has been extremely hot. We're due for a cool-off period. Probably not a very long cool-off period. I mean, if the CPI is weak, they might take it out on Tesla and Apple. But what I mean is this. Actually, I mean, if the CPI shows inflation is still running hot, not weak, wrong terminology. This one, I wanted to look at this one because Pfizer bought into it. Pfizer bought into Caribou Biosciences today. When Big Pharma buys BioDrec, you gotta take note. That's what happened here. Big Pharma bought BioDrec. This has been on a very long losing streak, and I think Pfizer coming in at bargain prices could be the cue for investors to follow suit. And I think this goes for the whole gene editing group. I don't know why CRISPR wasn't up off of this news. It was actually down. I think I might just buy this one along with my Intellia and CRISPR, Might add to Intellia and CRISPR as well. I like the fact there's no other reason than Pfizer buying it is good enough reason for me. So possible takeover in the future. A lot of faith by Pfizer to buy into this one. They didn't buy the company; they just bought in. I'm not even sure how much. CRISPR. Want to take a look at CRISPR. CRISPR had a solid red candle today. Further weakness all the way down to 54.02 at the close, a drop of 5%. It's been an ugly drop down from the highs of $71, the recent highs back in I guess it's late or mid-May. That we turned in a high over $71, come back down to 54, basically trading exactly at support. We have the let's see, the 50 crossed the 200. Now the 100 is about to cross. I mean, we have some bullish reasons to be in this one, technically. I like the 100 crossing the 200. I like the fact that it came right down to that support level. Might be a very good reason to add on to my CRISPR. I'm thinking out loud. This might be a good time, Dr. J, to add on to your Tesla. I mean, CRISPR. Tesla is another story. I own 4 biotechs: CRISPR, Intellia, DermTech, and Capricorn. And I like them all, of course. I wouldn't own them, but one day I like one more than the other, and it's hard to say which one I like more than the other today. But those are the 4 that I own, just for the record. I've been collecting U stock. I think the chart is excellent. I think the AI prospects are excellent for this one. I think the partnership with Apple on the Vision Pro gives it a lot of impetus going forward. So I could see 1 year from today, this one being 100. So I'm actually playing this for the future more than, I mean, the chart is fine, but I'm playing it not for the swing, but I'm accumulating. Again, my opinion is strictly my own, not investment advice. What else did I put down? I put down the averages. Let's take a look at SPY and Q. SPY had a fall from grace, and today's candle wasn't really that bad. 0.78%. Not good, but not that bad. I think we could go down to this recent low on if we get a continuation of this pullback. I think we come down to this level here at about, where is that? Let me get out in the drawing mode. That would be at about 431. I think it's possible we retest this key low. This is a key low, because below that would be support at around 426. So I see that being a key low. I'll draw it a horizontal, or I could just move this one down. Yeah, right there. 431 area would be solid support on the spiders. I don't think, in other words, just a retest of the recent lows when we pulled back 3%. I think, in other words, we could pull back 3% again, and that would be it. I think then you could pile in. I'm much more bullish than I am bearish, just short term. I feel a little bearish. I feel a little bearish short term. Qs are just a wonderful chart. What a Zoom channel. Wow. I mean, it's up about 40% or so from the beginning of the year. And today's candle, while we gave up 0.75%, that's really nothing. It's still on its latest trend line within the ascending channel. So I drew a trend line. It came down to the bottom of it, finished off of that trend line, off of the lows. It was worse today. Let's see what was the worst it was today. 364.50. So we're 3 points above the low. I think, again, we could come a little lower, but I think it's also possible, the way this one turned green at the end of the day, that we actually may be done with this little downturn. I would love Friday to be an update. It could go like anything else. It could go either way, but I called for 3 days of weakness. I hope I'm wrong. I hope tomorrow's an update. I like updates much more than I like red days. I don't like red days. What else did I look for, or did I advertise? I don't remember. That might have been about it. Let's see what you guys are into. What are you guys into? Yeah, the Q's journey up probably is unprecedented for first half, and say 40%. And you would think with a first half like that, it'll give back in the second half. But just the opposite is according to history. When the markets go up more than 12% in the first half, it usually continues on up double digits for the second half. I think all 9 times that it occurred in history. And that goes for the Qs too. So, I mean, it's a small sample size. It doesn't mean that much. 9 times, you're 9 for 9, but you might be 9 for 18. The next 9 times it doesn't happen. So I'm not going really strongly by that. Anybody else ask for, oh yeah, AISUN. All right, SOUN, let's chart that one. SOUN. Another AI play, off big time today. 15% give back. Let's get off the 1 minute. 1 day chart. Wow, waterfall. Probably come down to the 50 at this point. Sure looks like it. So I would say it comes down to 306. I wouldn't be in a hurry to add to this, the way it's falling. I hate these falling knives. I mean, it took weeks to get up there. It takes days to come back down. That's the way it always works. But it doesn't mean it's a bad stock or not a good one to own going forward. I don't know the fundamentals, but I would look to buy it cheaper as opposed to chasing it. That probably goes for anything at this point, where the market has had such a phenomenal run. I don't really want to chase anything. One of the ones I've been buying, and I probably will continue to buy, add to my position, is IBM. It had a pretty rotten day today, but it's had a pretty good rebound off the lows, and the 50 is crossing the 100. I like IBM, pays 5% while you're waiting. It's in the AI space with AI Watson. It's in the cloud space. It's in the enterprise space, software, and I think it's also uh, going to be first or one of the first to have quantum computing. So I like IBM. Speaking of quantum computing, I kick myself almost every day why I got out of this one. IONQ. Well, it's down sharply today, so maybe I'll have an opportunity to buy it back somewhere around $11. Middle of this green candle, 1180. It's 11 and change. This one has gone crazy from the time I sold it for. I actually sold it for a slight loss, so I'm really annoyed with myself at this one. 1190 looks like a good entry. Maybe drop lower. 1180. If it comes back down there, I think I'll probably buy it. Even though I sold it probably, I don't remember exactly when, but I sold it for probably $7, something like that. $6. I sold it way too early. I had the right idea. It wasn't that long ago either that I was in it. Okay, so I think that does it for today. I'm without Professor Spike, without Kamal. I'm lonely. Oh, IQST says indubitably. Definitely. IQST. Indubitably made money with this one, so let's show it. IQST. Oh, very nice. Sky with what a candle yesterday. That's from 13 cents to 21 cents. However, it's a penny stock with penny-like behavior, so it could easily give all of that back and more even tomorrow. Or it could turn around and run to 30 cents. So unpredictable, penny stock. You know, if you like it, buy it. There's probably better things to buy than this. Just my gut feeling. I don't know anything about it. But other than it's probably had its run on Wednesday. All right. So as always, opinions are strictly my own, not investment advice. Check with an advisor before acting. And I'm going to call it a day because I don't want to chart every stock in the universe. Adios, amigos. Ciao. Have a great weekend. Happy trading. Pick some winners tomorrow. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.